Crude oil prices are climbing, with Brent crude racing towards $64 a barrel on renewed Middle East tensions, as gold also rebounding on the latest U.S. inflation data. But the biggest rally is to the cryptocurrency family, with COINBASE on the front page. Uchenna Minnis is a global market strategist and the managing director at Harris Minnis Asset Management here in Lagos, and he joins me now for the world markets today. Good evening, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, boss. Thank you for
Great to have you. The Middle East geopolitics is revving up again with Iran. What is new, and how are the global markets reacting to the headlines today?
I think right now we can say that risk is sort of subdued, that geopolitical risk between Iran and Israel. I think ultimately it's going to be basically how involved the U.S. get into or sucked into that, should I say, shadow war between Iran and Israel as regards to their impact, really, But for now, I can say that we don't have any significant effect when it comes to the global financial market space, as this is just regarded as a shadow war between two, should I say, old enemies in the Middle East.
Are oil prices moving?
Yeah. So you see, when it comes to investors and market participants reacting to, should I say, asset classes, they front run the risk, really, right? I can tell you in particular, what has been driving oil pricing is just the anticipation of economic and business activities going to pre-COVID levels. On the basis of that, you can see oil prices move on that basis. But you can see, if you look at the bloc OPEC and OPEC Plus, there's still that inherent worry that we're not out of the woods yet, and on the basis of that, that has sort of just put us in a place where market participants are being advised to be cautious, because there are too many, should I say, moving parts as regards to risk when it comes to what we're currently facing with the pandemic and how it relates to business and economic activities, Boston.
You also turn to the United States. How are investors trading the latest U.S. inflation report and the weaker U.S. dollar?
Right now, what we are seeing is, should I say, is sort of a direct opposite of what we saw in 2020 as regard to the US dollar and the rest of the world. We can see the vaccine rollout is quite significant and effective, following Biden's laid down plan in terms of rolling out the vaccine. So we can see that sort of anticipation of stability across economic and business activities in the US. Unlike the euro or the eurozone, you can see some of these countries are starting to go into some sort of partial lockdown. Some of them are discontinuing their own vaccine rollout, and some of them are seeing increased, should I say, cases when it comes to COVID-19 infection. So that way, we are seeing that sentiment shift when it comes to investors looking to stake the US as a plausible safe haven in terms of their stocks and also fixed income assets, really. And that's what we're seeing, risky assets just surging significantly compared to the rest of the world, and the counter stocks and counter asset plays.
So is there a sentiment or a trend towards a safe haven right now? And where could investors find that? In oil, in metals, in stocks or treasuries?
We can see it. You can see investors playing, should I say, without caution when it comes to risky assets. You can see that even in crypto assets, the volatility, they really don't care. As we say, it's up to the moon, really. It's just bullish sentiment across boards when it comes to this risky asset. So, if you look at it from the surface, you can say, well, what do they need to be worried about? The general overview is that the worst of this pandemic is behind us. We only get to the point where we'll just start to approach pre-COVID level, and you can see that in risky asset Boston.
Okay, so tomorrow is the big day for the crypto family as COINBASE goes for direct listing. What should we expect?
Well, we can see that investors are already pricing that, really. You can see Bitcoin trading around the 63,000, 64,000 psychological level, really. We can see other crypto assets also trading higher. Ripple, we can see Ethereum too trading significantly higher on the basis of that. And I believe Coinbase IPO just gives that comfort that, well, this crypto asset is here to stay. This digital currency is here to stay, and that in itself would attract even further institutional funds into the mix. And really, in the immediate term, there's just significant upside to this crypto asset, and I think we'll probably see such surge into this asset going into tomorrow and the days beyond.
And I know you're keeping one permanent eye on the Coinbase direct listing tomorrow. All of you who are global markets analysts and traders and investors. Thank you so much, Uchenna Minnis, for speaking with us tonight. Global market strategist and the managing director at Harris Minnis Asset Management here in Lagos.